Hey, welcome back to Visions Now Supper Club. All views expressed for their educational and journalistic purposes, they're not the views of the management, advertisers, and staff of 92.1 FM. However, Visions does desire to bring a quality entertainment program which intellectually stimulates and culturally fulfills our community's needs to develop leadership and inform decision-making for our collective future. Welcome to the village. Often imitated, but never duplicated. I'm Dr. Jaylene Hood, your host and executive producer. Welcome.
Every black child needs to see this clip from Malcolm X to counter the impact of internalized racism.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
So one day my 9-year-old came home from school and she told me that her darker skinned friend was being bullied by a black boy who had lighter skin. She told me he was making jokes about her skin tone, and she said that she interjected and told him to be quiet, and she talked about how all shades of black is beautiful. So of course, I immediately told her and my 7-year-old to sit down, and I showed them that clip right there. They liked the clip so much, they kept watching it over and over again, and they started saying it themselves with the same mannerisms Malcolm had. So from there, we started talking about anti-black propaganda, media narratives, inclusion, diversity, and we also talked about colorism. So the next day, my daughter went back to school and told me that she told that boy that exact same quote from Malcolm, and she educated him on colorism. And she said he had no idea what it was. So it's crazy, right? He had no idea what it was, but he exuded it perfectly. See, if y'all keep thinking your kids aren't ready for conversations about racism, you're going to be losing to the anti-blackness and racist propaganda that they're downloading in their subconscious. So who taught that 9-year-old boy to hate himself and his African features? It's probably the same people that's teaching some of these 9-year-old white kids to hate us.
Carry the same thing, but the problem with the men is, men, we give life, a woman gives birth. If I put my seed in messed up soil, what do you expect the harvest to be? So men, we got to do self-inventory to say, hold on, you fine, baby, but you're not refined. For me, you're cute, but you're not acute with the way that I look at information and process information. So then we're not gonna be in alignment. Right. So when you just saying, oh, she fine, she gotta walk, but you're not hearing what her talk. Yeah. You just looking at that walk. Yeah. And you get in trouble. And it happened to me. Okay. And I'm talking to me. Yeah. Right. Because I'm not casting my stone and throwing stones at anyone else. Right. I'm talking about the self-inventory that I do for me. See, most people don't want to do self-inventory. You can't call your baby mother crazy She was who she was before you laid down with her, but you didn't have a discernment to see it because you was thinking with taste, touch, see, smell, and hear instead of intuition, discernment, and clairvoyance, which are invisible senses. They call it the third eye, but really it's your first eye. Your spiritual eye is your first eye. If you lead with your first eye, these two eyes can't be deceived. But if you lead with your two physical eyes, your spiritual eye can be deceived because the physical is an illusion. Period. They carry the same thing. But the problem with the men is, men, we give life. A woman gives birth.
They need to know that you have to watch your back. And as they say, trust few.
Oh.
And always check the veracity of what people tell you, because there are people who will not tell you the straight truth. You know, it was years before they finally came out with a report from the Assembly of Oklahoma that showed that we were the victims, we were not the perpetrators. But for years, they had even denied that they used airplanes. But all of us experienced and saw the airplanes. We thought they belonged to the militia, but actually they had borrowed the airplanes from farmers. They need to know that you have to watch your back. And as they say, trust few.
Oh.
And always check the veracity of what people tell you, because there are people who will not tell you the straight truth. You know, it was years before they finally came out with a report from the Assembly of Oklahoma that showed that we were the victims, we were not the perpetrators. But for years, they had even denied that they used airplanes. But all of us experienced and saw the airplanes. We thought they belonged to the militia, but actually they had borrowed the airplanes from farmers. They need to know.
In my 30s, I worked at the Lawrence County Detention Center in Lawrence, South Carolina. My role was to make sure the inmates were following protocol and that their needs were met. Out of the few women, I was the one that would walk down that corridor when they would say to us, they had a headache. I took that time, I walked down that corridor, and I gave them some Tylenol. When they said they were cold, I took that time, I walked down that corridor, and I gave them a blanket. Not only that, on the other side of this cell, because I wasn't allowed to go inside, I was on the other side of that cell. Every trip I made, I stopped and I talked. We had chats. We talked about better decision making. We talked about different type of jobs, possibilities, opportunities. At night, other type of officers came in. These guys, they were called deputy sheriffs. They had guns. They had badges. They looked different than mine. These guys had been to and graduated from the police academy. And when they would come in at night, they would walk down that same hallway, shoulders high. They went inside the cell. See, they were sworn in officers. They've been to the police academy. They graduated. They would go inside, check for safety, make sure the inmates are all doing okay, and face-to-face have conversations with these inmates. And I said, that's what I want to do. That's my purpose. I pitched that idea to my sheriff. He thought that was a great idea. Off to the police academy I went. That's right. That was very overwhelming. Very challenging. Look, At any given moment, you could be sent home, never to come back. If you held a gun wrong, you were sent home. If you got a low grade on your test, you were sent home. We had 310 classmates in my class. 7 of them were women. 5 of us graduated. I returned to my county as the very first Black female officer in that county. And I was the only female officer. But I got to do what I wanted to do. I patrolled in my car. I drove down them streets. I stopped. I got out. I went on porches and talked to the residents. I talked to the store owners. My favorite was to talk to the children on the corners, you know? School, I ain't doing school. Talk about change, different opportunities for them, life-changing ideas. You know, this is what we did. So one day I'm patrolling the city and I receive a call from dispatch requesting that I report to the station. I get there, he's waiting outside. He says to me, I have this 8-year-old boy that I need you to transport to the youth detention center. He goes on to tell me that this boy is dangerous. He said, I recommend that you put him in the back seat and handcuff him. Click, click. And all of a sudden, this little, tiny, timid looking little boy comes out, this little Black boy. He comes out and I say, hi. And he doesn't even say anything, like he don't know what he's saying. He don't know what's going on. But what I did was I said, you know what? I said, I took Taekwondo. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I said, so when I'm in the community, I'm out there, I can defend myself. So I made a conscious decision while we're walking to that car. I said, you know what? I'm going to put him in the front seat. I'm not going to handcuff him. I can handle him. And what is that going to do to him? What if this was my little boy? In the car we go, we're driving. And I say to him, I say, why am I taking you to the detention center? He says, because I'm bad. That broke my heart. That broke my heart because I'm looking at this little 8-year-old boy. He's 8. He's Black. He's scared. He's not sure what's going on with him. Is this his end? Is this what he think his life is? He has no hope. There's no chance. This is it for me. I said, no, I got to be a part of this change. I got to talk to this kid. And I said to him, I said, listen, you're not bad. Nah, I said, you made a bad decision. And I said, what you're doing? I said, well, I'm taking you to the detention center, but you're not bad. And I said, I wonder if they even thought about feeding him. So I'm riding down the street. I say, let's go in the store. And I bought him some food. I bought him a meal deal, 2 chili dogs, chips, and a soda. He looked at me like, wow, this is for me? I thought, well, if I am the first to do something like this, I'm grateful to be a part of that. But because of him, I was inspired to do the work that I do today. I work with children that struggle with emotional and behavioral needs. Some of my children lack effective social functioning skills. We put together treatment plans. We install goals. We help them reach those goals. This is what I do. This is my passion. It's what I love. Thank you.
Benefit from calling us Black.
Why can't we use that same term?
No, you know why?
to get back to
Because legally, right? Legally, by law, the Negro Act of 1740, literally, it says that Blacks, Indians, African Americans, and Africans, those are all terms for slave chattel. If you identify as Black, African American, African, or Indian, or Negro, you're property, and you are property of the United States Corporation. That's why when you are born, they give you a social security number. That is your barcode. And as soon as you sign that birth certificate, you are handing your child over to the state, which means that's why they can come and take your child if they don't like how you're treating your child. It's the same thing with a vehicle. When you register a vehicle, you are handing it over to the state. That's why they can come and put a boot on your head if you park in the wrong spot, because it's theirs. That's why they can lock you up and throw away the key, because you are theirs. So the only way to get out of that is to claim a nationality. Our last label, our last term that actually holds weight is Moors. In 1492, when they took our shit and we lost that war and we lost everything, we were identified as Moors. Look up the Peace and Friendship Treaty. That's all I'll say. They benefit from calling us black.
So why can't we use that same term?
No, you know why? Because
Because
legally, right? Legally, by law, the Negro Act of 1740, literally, it says that blacks, Indians, African Americans, and Africans, those are all terms for slave chattel.
Hello, visionaries. This is Dr. J. Aleem Hood, the host and executive producer for Visions Now, and also your Mystic brother. That's right, with the Mystic Moment, 92.1 FM, smooth R&B, every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we're the one that said, help us help you. And what we're trying to do is that we're trying to get money into our community. We spend too much money with other people that don't do nothing for our community. All of this water here, that we are here for fundraisers for you, okay, to help us provide resources for our programs for our young people. We were just in Elizabeth County yesterday. We're going to be going to Warren Williams, going to be going to Fowley Homes, and we're coming to a neighborhood near you. But the bottom line is that if you have an athletic team, they need to be drinking real water. This is water not from Walmart. This is from the Black Wall Street Network. We have to bring our dollars back home. We're making everybody rich, okay, and also making us emotionally poor because we don't support each other. So if you have a business out there, a restaurant, or you know somebody, or you just want to get some water for your own personal use, this is the best water in the business. None better. God made this water. It's artesian spring water. Artesian. Don't go by this. I'm not gonna call no name. That blue bottle and them all these other jackleg bottles. No. This is the real water. Hello, visionaries. This is Dr. J. Aleem Hood, the host and executive producer for Visions Now, and also your Mystic brother. That's right, with the Mystic Moment, 92.1 FM, smooth R&B, every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we're the one that said, help us help you. And what we're trying to do is that we're trying to get money into our community. We spend too much money with other people that don't do nothing for our community. All of this water here, that we are here for fundraisers for you, okay, to help us provide resources for our programs for our young people. We were just in Elizabeth County yesterday. We're going to be going to Warren Williams, going to be going to Fowley Homes, and we're coming to a neighborhood near you. But the bottom line is that if you have an athletic team, they need to be drinking real water. This is water not from Walmart. This is from the Black Wall Street Network. We have to bring our dollars back home. We're making everybody rich, okay, and also making us emotionally poor because we don't support each other. So if you have a business out there, a restaurant, or you know somebody, or you just want to get some water for your own personal use, this is the best water in the business. None better. God made this water. It's artesian spring water. Artesian. Don't go by this. I'm not going to call no name. That blue bottle and them all these other jackleg bottles. No, this is the real water.
Up with so many people having children, and as soon as they had these kids, or before these kids is even walking, really, they break it up.
My dumb ass did that stupid shit. And you know what? It was a huge mistake. At that time, I was very, very masculine, right?
My husband, he's my husband now. He's the father of my 2 kids. But when we first had our first son, I did it and I broke up with him. As soon as we had our son was maybe like 2 weeks old. I did it because the reality is I was filled with so much trauma and I did not value a 2-parent household because I never came from one. So I didn't care about it. I felt like the kid would be okay. Like he cool. He don't need no father. I'm the mother and the father. Being extra as hell, right? I was prepared to do everything on my own. And once you have that baby, not to mention that was both of our first babies together. So I had no idea what postpartum was. He had no idea how to deal with a woman that was going through postpartum, that was emotionally unstable and all over the place. So he just kind of was like, he was done with it. He didn't understand how to deal with it. I didn't understand what the fuck I was going through. And I threw in a towel, not him. I threw in a towel. And I actually took his son away from him, talking about, I'm about to do all of this on my own, looking stupid as hell. And he was a good father. He is a good father. He was a good man. That's a good man, Savannah. He's a damn good father, damn good provider. And he wasn't going for that. He was not going for that, y'all. He told me straight up, you're not taking my son away from me. If I got to fight you tooth and nails in the court, I don't give a damn. I will show up he wasn't like no deadbeat. I don't give a fuck about that baby. Fuck her. It wasn't like, and the only one that called me out on my bullshit was my sister. She was like, you making a huge mistake doing that. He don't deserve that. That baby don't deserve that. Hell, you don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? She was the only one that told me, sis, go back and figure it. And with time, you learn each other. You mature. You understand the importance of respect. You understand the importance of love and bringing a child up in a healthy 2-parent house. And last but not least, you might not be compatible. You realize you're not compatible for him, or he might not be compatible for you. And then you both come up with the same lame ass excuse. Oh, he switched up, she switched up. No, you just didn't take the time out to really get a chance to know each other. You know what I'm saying? So y'all rolled around in the sack, created a life, and don't give a fuck about it. Neither one of y'all don't really give a fuck about it. Now you just bashing each other all over the place, bashing each other on the internet. It's just so immature. So that's my take on it. That's my 2 cents. I don't know. What y'all think?
Be the church when you go to the bank. You got to be the church when you are doing business. The church is not brick and mortar. The church is you and I. If you are only coming to church, then you don't understand the church. Everywhere you go, let your light so shine before men and women that they may see your good works and glorify the Father which is in heaven. I want you to lay your hands on yourself and shout out loud, I am the church. What does it mean that you are the church? Wherever you are, the glory of God is going to follow you there. You are going to be in bad shape if you only are able to encounter God on Sunday morning at 9:30. But there's some people that know I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on. Anybody here ever felt God while you were driving in your car? Ever felt God when you were laying in the bed? Ever felt God when you were getting ready to go into a meeting? The glory of God is surrounding you. The glory of God is going ahead of you. The glory of God is behind you. The glory of God is working in you. You are the church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against you. You got to be the church when you go to the bank. You got to be the church when you are doing business. The church is not brick and mortar. The church is you and I. Elon Musk misunderstood. He ran here from South Africa thinking that we were not the children of those who amputated apartheid the first time. So the same thing our ancestors did in South Africa, we gonna do right here in Georgia, South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. We are not going backwards. We are going forward. And those of you that don't like it, you gonna have to get over it. How dare you tell us to go back where we came from? You go back to where you came from. This is the country we built. We can't go back. One of the things that Elon Musk misunderstood, he ran here from South Africa thinking that we were not the children of those who amputated apartheid the first time. So the same thing our ancestors did in South Africa, we gonna do right here in Georgia, South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. We are not going backwards, we are going forward. And those of you that don't like it, you gonna have to get over it. How dare you tell us to go back where we came from? You go back to where you came from. This is the country we built. We can't go back.
Hello, Chattanooga Valley. It's the time of the day when you and I come together to make love, good old-fashioned community love. I'm Dr. J. Aleem Hood, your host, executive producer, and Visions Now is a community affairs presentation for the New Era Network. Hello, and we hope that you enjoyed those. And of course, also, listen, this is a broad podcast, which means that don't just sit there and listen. Get involved and have this conversation, because there are a lot of things going on. I'd like to know someone out there. Give us a call at 706-221-4830. If you want to announce something going on you think we need to know about. People get on Facebook and they talk about all kinds of stuff, but then the important things, then they expect people to just pick it. No, that's why we're here. Those are important things. And so give us a call, 706-221-4830, and we'll be more than happy to chat with you about it. And if you're doing something worthy, listen, united we stand, divided we fall. Why are we still act? Do we understand what time it is? Do we understand what is going on in the world? Did you see did you watch the other night? Did you listen the other night? Okay. And it was kind of interesting to me. Actually, I'm not going to tell you. There's actually some things I agree with, but there's other things I didn't agree with. Now, I'm that type of guy. I don't just everything. No, just like I'm not a party person. So therefore, there are things I disagree with the Republicans on. There are things I disagree with the Democrats on. There are things I agree with the Democrats on. There are things I agree with the Republicans on. And then, of course, because I am an independent. Okay, so mine, I'm straight down the line. So I'm not zigzagging. I'm straight down the line. And if you don't know why, then of course be more than happy to explain it to you. And of course, how you doing today, Julian?
I'm doing well. Yeah, making it through.
So what's going on in your world?
Just trying to save some youth today and keep myself together.
So what is your generation talking about, man? What are you talk to your peers? I mean, like, what's on their mind? Basketball?
Celebrities.
I just saw on the celebrity tip. I just read something that said Amber Rose. I think I know who Amber Rose is. I'm not quite sure. I've heard that name before, but she said she's been going to Diddy's parties since 2009, and she never knew anything about a freak off room. So, and she wasn't invited to the freak. She said it must have been on another day because it wasn't there. She been going to everything he threw, but since 2009. So I don't know.
I did hear evidently the woman dropped the lawsuit that was against Sean and Jay-Z.
Well, that didn't make sense anyway, because this girl, her dad had picked her up that night, and he said that she didn't do what she said. I mean, that didn't happen. And that was her dad. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So that made me think. I guess people say, well, he was paid off. Well, I don't know if anybody can pay me off. I mean, if something happened to my daughter, I'm not going to deny, but at the same time, if my daughter's lying, I'm not going to go along with that either. You know, so
amount of money.
yeah. I mean, like, you know, that kind of thing. So I was just wondering about that. By the way, you got a comment or something? Now a lot of people are talking about the Oscars. Did you have any favorites on the Oscars?
I did not. I saw some clips on it floating around, but that was the little bit that I did catch.
Right. Generally, that's kind of like my escape show. But I did not. I didn't get a chance to see, you know, the Oscars this year. I mean, I had been planning on going back to see it, but no, that thing's been getting in my way. Now, I did watch, and I have to apologize to Mr. Trump. Okay, you know what I have to apologize to him about? I went to sleep on it. I apologize, Donald. Donald, I apologize, brother. I went to sleep on you. I mean, I know. Yeah, he can. I mean, after a while, with that little grin and that little Lino, I was done in his. I mean, I thought I watched a good part of it, but I can't remember exactly what part it was that I went to sleep on. But you know, I missed. Did you get a chance to see it? But
I did. I saw some clips about that. The address to the Congress. It was.
So, what anything kept your eye? What anything captured your attention?
The one thing I did see, evidently, it was a gentleman who got kicked out during the proceedings.
Oh yeah. That was early. His brother got kicked out early in the process.
Yeah, exactly. That was a little piece that I guess went viral or something. He was talking about that.
Right. I heard some people saying, "Well, why did everybody else get up and get kicked out too?"
Right.
You know, I mean, but see, my thing is this. You know, everybody has to kind of do what they feel like they have to do. I mean, like that. I mean, you know, other people protesting in a different kind of way. But the other thing about it is that I've been hearing some things about what the Democrats should be doing and not doing. Well, my thing is this, though. I think the Democrats need to be out in the streets organizing communities to get out, to apologize for not delivering no goods and get the grassroots people back in sync. I mean, I think that's what they need to be doing. I mean, they can be complaining about whatever, you know, but
they need to get back.
Yeah. Now, like I say, now again, I'm authentic and I'm transparent. Now, I have to say that I did. I thought it was the part I did see. I thought it was entertaining. You know, again. The things that I did agree on, and that is, he said, there are not but two genders. There's male and female.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I mean, I agree. I mean, so I mean, you know, people get in there feeling all they want to. Get mad with God. I mean, two. I don't think that males should be in girls' sports. I mean, I don't think that, and I don't think girls should be. But if you just at the backyard or picnic y'all playing, but I mean there's no reason for a male wrestler to be wrestling with a girl wrestler.
Yeah,
you know, they can call it trans, whatever you want to call it. I'm just trying to say that. Now
that's logical. That's reasonable.
I'm just trying to say. Before let's understand, I was born before all that. So therefore, when I grew up, that's all it was. It was just male and female. So there wasn't no trans, you know, all like that. So you understand that? Yeah, you can call it old school if you want to, but God is old school too. I just put it that way. God is old school too, and but I mean, and by the way, if anybody out there listening, hotline number 706-221-4830, call in. I mean, you know, you might have a different opinion about things. I mean, I have no problem with. I'm open to it, listening to different opinions. I mean, I have no problem with sharing my opinion, and I certainly like to hear yours as well. Hotline number 706-221-4830. Give us a call. Don't sit back and complain. I'm trying to see if there's anything else agreed to. I can't really think.
Yeah,
He did a
recall
2-hour speech, but
Yeah,
those are the two things that I can remember that I said. Well, I mean, duh, man. I can.
Yeah, well, I guess I know another thing people was talking about is kind of Elon's involvement. What do you think about kind of his running around the White House?
Well, I think my frat brother Jamal Bryant just spoke to that.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
but he's not in government. He's not in.
Well, you have to understand like this. He paid the cost to be the boss.
Yeah.
I mean, and Donald Trump said it's for sale. I mean, like, like what they say? You want to come to America, pay $5 million. You ain't gotta take no test or nothing. You just come and pay $5 million. You're a citizen.
Yeah.
I mean. By the way, I don't know if you can find that thing, but there's a piece that a guy did about saying that they should offer, Africans, black folks, $5 million, to leave. I mean, I might even leave for $5 million.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I come back and visit, but I go there, chill out, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I come, $5 million, I can, I can be a visitor, for and relocate. Exactly. But I might go to one of the islands, though. I don't know if I would go all the way to the continent just so I can be closer to my family.
Yeah. Like a nice midpoint.
Yeah. I might go, because I might would go to Jamaica or the Bahamas. If Cuba get his thing together, I might even, post up in Cuba. I enjoyed my stay in Cuba when I did go. I enjoyed the. So again, I mean, somewhere in the Caribbean, with $5 million, we could go in and buy us an island. That's some islands for sale out there.
So the conversion rate, that $5 or $5 million goes a long way.
Hey, you better believe it, a long way, and that's why I would take the hit from family. Give my okay, $500,000 here, $500,000, for to investment for the future, and parlay that $500,000 million should turn into $5 or $6 million, in the next generation, that type of thing. Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with that. But again, with the Elon Musk, to me, that's just first of all, the thing that gets me though is sooner they get in, how do you go in and start firing people? You ain't done no evaluation, you ain't done no assessment. We know that some people get money that shouldn't be getting money. We know that. There are people getting contracts and stuff that should not be getting no contract. Now, but my point is that, they just going wholesale.
Instead of doing like an audit.
Right. As a matter of fact, actually, Elon, that's what contracts maybe he shouldn't be getting. I wonder if he gonna cut his contract. So I mean, it's a joke. But again, this is the thing about it. And my thing is that what does it say? Okay, I'm not saying whether the guy is guilty or not guilty or whatever. I'm just trying to say with all of the convictions and all of that, a majority of people who voted him in. So, I mean, it's like this. If I'm squeaky clean, right, and I run and I got the number of votes that Trump got, right, meaning that he won, but it wasn't like a landslide, right? But if I had all the cases and convictions that he had, and I still won, I would call it a landslide too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like if people can overlook all of the what do they call the alleged alleged offenses that supposedly he did and some he was convicted of, and they still elect him, that's a landslide. I mean, just considering, it's like considering where he came from to win, and here another person's supposed to be kind of quick. I mean, but now the question becomes, what does that say about America. See, that's why I say many people who complaining and gonna be complaining. And again, that's I'm saying also that we as a community, we better start getting look, our community. We you know, and when I say our community, I mean people of African descent. We were rather ancient recently in America. Make about have consumer power of about almost a little over $1.5 trillion. That ranks it probably 12 out of maybe 100 or 200 countries in the world. That ranks at number 14 or 15, meaning that they are nations. They have navies, armies, marines. You know, I mean, they got government buildings, airports, all that. We have more consumer power than they do per capita, but we don't have no growth. We don't even have a grocery store. We don't have a chain grocery store in America. So I'm trying to say is that why aren't the politicians talking about that? Why aren't the people talking about that? Why aren't the pastors talking about that? I'm trying to say, what are you talking about? Trump this, Trump that, bottom line is that what are we doing with what we do have? We better start learning how to use what we got. I mean, it just don't make any sense. Why are our children out here selling drugs to make money, to buy gym shoes and clothes and housing? Why? I mean, with the money we have, we should be able to put them to work. Why aren't we doing that? So again, I'm just saying that I can't really get bent out of shape about what's going on, because I'm saying that there's some things that we could be doing to buffer the impact of that.
That we failed ourselves.
Yeah, that we failed ourselves.
Yeah, so
I mean, like we're receiving over $1.5 trillion. That's more than the gross national product. I think of Canada, of Canada, maybe Mexico, and a lot of them countries all the way down to South. They don't have that kind of. But what are we doing with it? And the other thing about it is that we as a faith community, I don't understand this. Why is it that people are so quiet? We are like it's just another day at the office. I mean, there's no alarm. See, when I was growing up, during the civil rights era, the Black Power era, the pulpit, they were talking fire and brimstone. They were talking about Moses and Abraham and David in the lion's den, David and Goliath, Solomon, and Christ going into. I mean, in other words, they were talking about let my people go, talking about freedom and liberation and God's people. And sometimes today it's like they talking about the choir, but there ain't no message, ain't no teaching really going on. Now, of course, for my pastor friends, we're not talking about you. Okay, we talk about those others. The one that we talk about together. We talk about those other ones that have lost their way. They're out of touch. Okay, that's talking more about what Pastor's Day and Pastor's Anniversary and what are the other things? What is coming? You closer to that. I mean, what are the other things they doing with them other Ursha Day and
Easter and heaven.
They already talking. We talking about Easter. I mean, Easter, really? I mean, so again, then just like again, I don't on Facebook, I hear people, they on Facebook doing their thing, but again, they don't understand that. Look, let's have a community discussion. I'm here for a community discussion, and again, that don't mean that we're gonna agree on everything. But again, don't be scared. I mean, I don't bite. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my thing, but now one thing about it is that my mind bites though, because we're gonna talk seriously about things. I'm not gonna let you just get away with the past. And again, you can't hide. I mean, my thing is that you can challenge me. I'm gonna challenge you too. I mean, I'm gonna challenge you to do better. Hopefully, you challenge me to do better. I'm looking. I mean, like I'm trying to, but I don't think that's one thing about it. I don't think you can challenge me more than I challenge myself. See, so that's why I walk in any audience. I don't give a goat drain.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like because you can't challenge me more than I challenge myself. And I always said if I could do more, if some people would get out the way and other people would help. I'm just saying. I mean, we could do more. Okay, so that's one of the things about it. But we talk more about football and who win in the football and who basketball trade. We got some real issues. Like I said that but again, it's that type of. Let's take a little break and play a few more videos, and of course, whatever y'all want to have a discussion about, whether it's about relationships, whether it's about again the boycott. And by the way, have you heard anybody talking about last Friday? I guess there was a boycott last Friday.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard any results from that?
Not. I haven't seen anything floating around.
See if you can Google. So I just like to know. I've not heard whether it was a success. I mean, I think it was kind of a success because I know last Friday, many of us were looking for places to spend our money within our community, and I went to a place, Nieces, and I found me a vegetable place. I like to say, Nieces, y'all did a good job over there. Chester, I'm coming to check you out. So I'm doing reviews of food. So I'm the one over there at Skipper's Chester's. I'm gonna come by there and check you all out too. But right now it's a little difficult for me because this is Ramadan. So we kind of got this fasting kind of vibe going on. So I'm kind of on the low, with my moving and eating and stuff like that. But because I think Friday was the last day before Ramadan, right. So I was trying to get it in. So so right now, we got that kind of thing going. But again, I also tell Mel and Abe over there, I don't know if they're gonna see me this week or not, but tell them I say what's up over there, to my Alabama family and my Harris County family. Y'all need to do something up there so I can come up there and visit with y'all sometime. I usually get some speaking engagement up there sometime, but I don't get no speaking engagement coming up there no more. I get said, no, don't bring him up here. But again, by the way, I think again, let's go on and take a little break and come back and have a little conversation here. And in the meantime, maybe I'm gonna try to see if I can find some data on what happened the other day as well. So again, like I said, don't be scared. I mean, y'all just scared as Negroes I've seen in my life. Come on, have a real conversation. And y'all get on here and talk all that nonsense, but then never can. Well, anyway, listen, Vision Now, the Supper Club, the real flavor of your life, and we're here to make good old-fashioned community love, and we hope that you're enjoying the menu. We're trying to feed you good, nutritious, intellectual food that's going to help you not just feel better, but also be better. Okay? Vision Now, Supper Club. Right now, New Era Coalition Network.
If a woman is constantly arguing with you, slandering your name, defaming you, destroying you instead of uplifting you, you better leave her. A feminine woman talks with such grace, her words bring healing to your life. A woman should heal you. A woman should uplift you. A high-quality woman will bring peace to your life. She will take the edge off of a sharp life, fellas. Do not deal with a pugnacious woman who is warlike and argumentative. That is the biggest fucking headache you will ever have to put up with in your life. The tongue of the wise bring healing. The words of the reckless pierce like swords. If a woman is constantly arguing with you, slandering your name, defaming you, destroying you instead of uplifting you, you better leave her. A feminine woman talks with such grace, her words bring healing to your life.
I was wondering about our yesterdays and digging through the rubble. And to say the least, somebody went to a hell of a lot of trouble to make sure that when we looked things up, we wouldn't fare too well. And we would come up with totally unreliable pictures of ourselves. But I've compiled what few facts I could, such as they are, to see if we could find out a little bit of something. And this is what I got so far. First, white folks discovered Africa. They claimed it fair and square. Cecil Rhodes couldn't have been robbing nobody because, hell, there wasn't nobody there. The white folks brought all the civilization because there wasn't none around. How could the folks be civilized when wasn't nobody writing nothing down? And just to prove all of their suspicions, well, didn't take too long. They found out that there were whole tribes of people in plain sight running around with no clothes on. That's right. The men, the women, the young, and the old righteous folks covered their eyes. And no time was spent considering the environment. Hell no, this just wasn't civilized. And another piece of information they had, or at least this is what we were taught, is that unlike the civilized people of Europe, these tribal units actually fought. And yes, there was some crude implements, and yes, there was primitive art, and yes, they were masters of hunting and fishing, and courtesy came from the heart. And yes, there was love and medicine, religion, intertribal communication by drum, but no paper, no pencils, and no other utensils. And hell, these folks never even heard of a gun. And this is why the colonies came, to stabilize the land, because the dark continent had copper and gold, and the discoverers had themselves a plan. They would discover all the places with promise. You didn't need no titles and deeds. Then they would appoint people to make everything legal, to sanction the trickery and greed. And back in the jungle, when the natives got restless, they would call it guerrilla attack. And they would never describe that the folks finally got wise and decided that they would fight back. And still, we are victims of word games. Semantics is always a bitch. Places once referred to as underdeveloped are now called mineral rich. And the game goes on eternally. Unity kept just beyond reach. Egypt and Libya used to be in Africa. They've now been moved to the Middle East. There are examples galore, I assure you. But if interpreting were left up to me, I'd be sure every time folks knew this version wasn't mine, which is why it is called His Story. I was wondering about our yesterdays and digging through the rubble. And to say the least, somebody went to a hell of a lot of trouble to make sure that when we looked things up, we wouldn't fare too well. And we would come up with totally unreliable pictures of ourselves. But I've compiled what few facts I could, such as they are, to see if we could find out a little bit of something. And this is what I got so far.
Because the queen is actually the most powerful piece on the chessboard. You supposed to be watching over the man. So it shouldn't ever been no wrong path for him to go down if you got him like you supposed to have him. Now, that's not to blame you for him, being out of alignment like that. It's just to say that when you're in alignment with your partner, what a queen's actual job is to power the operation. Nothing goes without you. Nothing. Like I'm supposed to go to my woman for counsel and everything. Right. If we're going to talk about actual tradition, femininity is wisdom. Because the queen is actually the most powerful piece on the chessboard. You supposed to be watching over the man. So it shouldn't ever been no wrong path for him to go down if you got him like you supposed to have him. Now, that's not to blame you for him, being out of alignment like that. It's just to say that when you're in alignment with your partner, what a queen's actual job is to power the operation. Nothing goes without you. Nothing. Like I'm supposed to go to my woman for counsel and everything. Right. If we're going to talk about actual tradition, femininity is wisdom.
First of all, let them know that every group on this earth understands that you're in a team relationship. Racism is a team sport. It came into existence as a team. You play as a team or you lose by default. And only with black folk do people get upset when black folks start talking about coming together and uniting and working together and cooperating together, buying from each other and supporting each other. You know why? For a simple reason that everybody understands. When you come together and unify, that signifies strength. And right now, everybody right now is pimping and hustling black folk. They've been pimping and hustling black folk for 400 or 500 years. We spend approximately 97% to 98% of all our money outside of our own community, as an example. And we don't practice group economics. We don't practice group politics. All that makes, when we spend 98% of all our money outside of our community, what that does, it makes the other groups enriched. They now are living off of two incomes. They live off of 100% of their money and 98% of our money. Barack, first of all, let them know that every group on this earth understands that you're in a team relationship. Racism is a team sport. It came into existence as a team. You play as a team or you lose by default. And only with black folk do people get upset when black folks start talking about coming together and uniting and working together and cooperating together, buying from each other and supporting each other. You know why? For a simple reason that everybody understands. When you come together and unify, that signifies strength. And right now, everybody right now is pimping and hustling black folk. They've been pimping and hustling black folk for 400 or 500 years. We spend approximately 97% to 98% of all our money outside of our own community, as an example. And we don't practice group economics. We don't practice group politics. All that makes, when we spend 98% of all our money outside of our community, what that does, it makes the other groups enriched. They now are living off of two incomes. They live off of 100% of their money and 98% of our money. Barack, first of all, let them know that every group on this earth understands that you're in a team relationship. Racism is a team sport. It came into existence as a team. You play as a team or you lose by default.
Before the project started, I was hoping that I could identify or could be able to find evidence that support independent origin of Chinese in China, because I'm a Chinese and came from China. And through the education process, I always believed that there was something special about Chinese.
And so what did you find?
We did not see any, even one single individual that could be considered as the descendant of the Homo erectus in China. Rather, everybody was a descendant of our ancestors from Africa.
And how did that make you feel as a Chinese person?
After I saw the evidences that we generate in my laboratory, I think we should all be happy with that, because after all, modern humans from different part of the world are not so different from each other, and we are very close relatives. Before the project started, I was hoping that I could identify or could be able to find evidence that support independent origin of Chinese in China, because I'm a Chinese.
Anyone can count the seeds in an apple, but only one can count all the apples in a seed. Before the creations of the heaven and the universe, there was only one, Allah, Rabbil Alameen, Al-Wahid, who made the sun and planted the stars like trees, Al-Ahad, the unique one, with no need of slumber or sleep, Al-Khaliq, created you like kun fayakun, from the womb to the tomb, Ar-Raqib is always watching you, Al-Musawwir fashioned thee and gave you all your faculties, all praise be to Al-Hamid, to he that is perfect and complete, and glory be to Al-Majid, majestically honorable indeed. And why would he need money when he is Al-Ghani? Al-Razaq fulfills the needs of even the birds and the bees, while Al-Wahhab bestows his bounties out of love and mercy. And you could try and count all his blessings, but he is Al-Azim, because Al-Malik is the only king with servants he doesn't need. Al-Hayy is alive, and Al-Qayyum will never die. Al-A'la beyond the skies, and Al-Hakim the most wise, no lies. But why would they try to prescribe our summit a son when my Lord has 99 names and Jesus ain't one? Al-Hakim is the judge, a Sayyid master above. Waging war against Al-Aziz is like spitting at the sun. Allah is Al-Jamil and loves that which is Al-Jamal. And why would you have fear when Al-Wali is by your side? The most gentle Ar-Rafiq has the firmness of Al-Mateen. Musa spoke to As-Sami' but couldn't see Al-Basir. Al-Awwal was the first and Al-Akhir is the last. Al-Alim knows the present and the future and the past. Al-Wasi' encompasses all and knows what benefits and harms. Al-Shafi heals the sick, and Al-Muhsin gives good to all. Al-Mubin guides to this deen, making the truth clear and clean. Al-Mu'min can provide security in ways you've never seen. Al-Qadir does what he pleases and is capable of all things. And he who kneels before Al-Mutakabbir can stand up to anything. Victory comes from Al-Nasir, so I give thanks to Ash-Shakur. Put my trust in Al-Wakil, save my love for Al-Wadud. Ya Ghafoor, Ya Ghafar, forgive me, for you are Al-Afu. At-Tawwab, we turn to you, cause you are Al-Quddus. Ya Salam, it is my dream to see you. Ya Kareem, Ya Fatah, open the highest gates of Jannah for me. Ameen. Al-Mujib hears my prayers even when I can't find the words to say them. And Al-Qawi gives me the strength to live a life of dedication to a shahid, being a witness over this entire nation. Al-Hafiz protect this ummah from all the fitna and temptation. Al-Qareeb is closer to ourselves than our blood in circulation. Al-Latif shows us kindness, but most of mankind is ungrateful. Till Al-Hasib takes account on the day that we'll be standing naked. Where are their been? For he is assations, Al-Haq, the only truth on the day that our souls will become awakened. So repent before Al-Warith inherits all that you've accumulated. Al-Halim is patient with us, although we have disobeyed him. Goodness from Al-Tayyib, and Al-Muhaymin makes observations of prostrations to Al-Zahir, manifesting through his creations. Al-Akram made us Muslims, so let us show appreciation. For he is Al-Jawad as revealed in his revelations. For those of contemplation, Al-Kabir must be the greatest, cause knowing Al-Manan is the only key to our salvation. The proof is Ar-Ra'uf, but it's true that their hearts are blinded. And this is just a reminder for those who love to be reminded of the most beautiful names and attributes that you will ever see, like the mercy of Ar-Rahman and the compassion of Ar-Rahim.
In Gaza's camps,
hope that you enjoyed that little tribute. This is Ramadan, and of course we are, I guess we got about 24 more days, 25 more days. So I'm enjoying it. I mean, you know, it's time to, because you see my glow, my peacefulness, and this time of reflection about the you know, that was very strong. They said that we can count the seeds in an apple. Well, only Allah can count the apples in a seed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's when you take it to the next level there. That's right. I mean, you know, we can, you know, because remember that's like knowing how many apples on a tree. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we know we can open an apple. I got an apple around here somewhere. You know, I can open it up and look at how many seeds in there, but I don't know how many apples are in that seed. I know how many seeds in the apple.
Absolutely.
They're part.
Yes, sir.
And again, do you know with I think it's like I was hearing like 200 million sperm that a man ejaculates during a sexual intercourse.
Yeah.
200 million sperm. I mean,
Yeah.
like.
Actually, I think I heard higher figures.
Yeah. I'm being conservative.
Yeah,
but I've been trying to say 200 million is plenty. You know. Yeah, that part. No doubt about it. So that lets you know. See, that's what I'm trying to say. People, the reason why people have problems with each other because people don't know how to seek answers from divine. They don't know how to seek answers from the universe because in other words, when you want to know, in other words, we all were designed to do things in a certain kind of way. Now, if we have a problem with that, then we have a problem with God. You know what I'm saying? And then there's other things that many times, unfortunately, that people become socialized culturally. When culture is merely an interpretation of an ascribed group of people. They come together and say, okay, this is what it is. But that don't mean that that's what it is. Yeah. And you can tell, well, if it doesn't produce, if it's not fruitful, then you know it ain't what it's supposed to be. Right. So that's what I'm saying. So we as a people, we're not in tune with God. I don't care how good we sing in the choir. I don't care all of that. Bottom line is that we should not be totally dependent on other people. We should share with them and enlighten with them, but at the end of the day, squirrels not dependent upon rabbits.
Exactly.
See what I'm saying? Foxes not dependent upon wolves. See what I'm saying? Absolutely. Lions are not dependent upon tigers. You know what I'm saying? Elephants are not dependent upon rhinoceros. They all must go into life, into the earth to assure their survival. And then here we are, if we don't get food stamps, I mean, like my boy Demetrius said many times. I mean, I said this way, but I just like the way he said, "Man don't work, man don't eat." I mean so therefore, as long as you want to work, then nobody's giving you anything. So I'm saying, if you're working for it, I mean that you're exchanging your time and your labor, for a medium of a change. Exactly. I mean, so therefore, nobody's doing you a favor. No, but that's one reason why they're trying to come with that D-E-Y, coming up with robots, to replace, because robots, they don't need no exchange.
Yeah, you can destroy the robots.
Right. So therefore they can just consume, because a robot, but at the same time, what does that do for humanity? So that tell you right there, there's something wrong with someone. They should be looking for more ways. See, it's not so much. My thing is this: should not be you just firing people. You should have people doing that job in a special way and doing bigger and greater things. Because you need to put people. Unless you're gonna say, "Well, look, we don't need people doing this no more. We're gonna have people doing this." Yeah. Well, I mean, but again, the whole idea. But you should have leave jobs for people at different levels. That's really about being a human being.
Pro-life.
Yeah, that's being pro-life. Yeah. But when you greedy, that's evil. That's really evil. When you know that people have children, then therefore, now if they're stealing time, that's one thing. Yeah. But then at the same time, here you got more money than most people. I mean, you got more money than you can utilize. Yeah. That's gluttony. That's a sin. Yeah. See? And as I said in the good book, a rich man has a greater chance, lesser chance of becoming into the face of God and to the chosen of God as a camel through the eye of a needle. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know what kind of chance that is. So if you but I'm saying, but remember, these are religious people who are voting for people to do these things. So but what kind of religion is that? That's Satan. That's satanic. So anybody that votes for elevating millionaires. It should be how many people are living a rich life, not how many people are becoming rich. I like that myself. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I mean, that's what it's all about. Everybody should be able to be engaged in a meaningful way with life. You know, if they don't, and the only reason why they're not, they have been taught that. See? And so therefore, then you're going to exploit people and you're going to crush people and create more misery in life, okay, because you have basically dumbed people down and to accept, you know, the devil as their God. You know, so it's just a shame. Any before we go, I guess we get about that time. Any of these that touch you in particular tonight that you kind of got you thinking a little bit? The reels.
I guess the one about this was a couple ones. The one about not being with an argumentative female.
You know something about that?
I not from personal experience, but from the outside.
Oh, okay, just watching people going through it.
You can see the misery. And also, I guess the young lady talking about being a police officer, how she fed the young boy.
Now
that's a lot. That does a lot. You feed, you know, I think.
And how she was inspired to improve herself so that she could be of greater service. And that's I mean, that was beautiful. That really was beautiful.
A lot of kids, they're not necessarily, you know, working at the Boys and Girls Club and stuff like that, you know, we see a lot of kids who don't necessarily have, and I don't, you know, I try to make a point, basically going back to what she said, you know, a lot of times they don't even have the basic stuff they need to even be okay. So it's not like they just choosing to be this type of way. They don't
and again, and I go back, whose fault is that? You know what I'm saying? That goes back to their parents.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, if you were not, and my thing is this, if you were not taught what we call the work ethic, meaning that you enjoy working, you look forward to work. See, actually, I mean, you know, so therefore, if you don't, then that means that you have then been violated by whoever you're modeling after. So I know I was taught to love. I mean, my grandmother and adults around me, they enjoyed working. I mean, they worked and then they enjoyed work. They enjoyed working, whether it's keeping the house clean, working in the yard, growing some food, making a quilt, preserving food. I mean, you know, I mean, just always, you know, doing something to make life a little bit better, or either helping somebody else do something at their house. I mean, it was just, in other words, that kind of thing where they just wait at mentality. And that's one thing about the thing. Too many people are sedentary now, and they're not. They a lot of people. Again, I like to think that we do our podcast, but we do our podcast as an extension of the work that we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But some people, they just live to do a podcast, and some people want to do a podcast. And my thing is this. Let me tell you right this. My thing is this. I'm not, anybody who want to help do this work, and we're going to work together, I help them for free. Okay? But somebody who just want to get help, but they want to go do their own thing, no, they got to pay. I mean, if you're going to help the greater cause, okay, fine. But it's just like if you want to do, I mean, whatever you want to do, I mean, you know, if you want to open up a bakery, okay, but you know, we got a bakery, you want us to teach you how to run a bakery. Okay, well, let's do a bakery together. Okay, and then be able to offer more to maybe you're still gonna be doing your thing, but we can have a greater. I mean, look, what is Nabisco? We just say. I mean, they became a company because a lot of other people came together, made a greater company. So therefore, why am I going to help Fat and Frog to feed snake? I mean, why would you even ask somebody to help you do something and you ain't trying to help nobody but yourself? Yeah, exactly. I mean, my thing is that if I ask you to help me do something, I'm asking you to help me help somebody. Okay, not for myself, and also. Okay, anybody else that want to do something, that want to do this, I'm trying to say, we're trying to, right now, if anybody out there listening, we're trying to put together, you hear me say, New Era Network, okay? broadcast network. Okay, so therefore, that means that you want just like NBC, CNN, ABC, CBS, they're a network. Every city that's like, okay, you can get a franchise here in Columbus. They're a network. So we're saying the same thing. But people want to go do their own little podcast. We got too many people doing podcasts. I'm just saying that, and I mean, they can say, well, no, you doing one. Yeah, but I'm doing one because I'm trying to encourage us to do it together. I'm not just doing it just so I can have my little space in the sun. No, I'm trying to say we need to be working together. Okay? And so I'm putting that in, and I'm trying to say anybody that want to do it, then let's work together. Otherwise, don't ask me for nothing. If you don't want to work together, you just want to do it, don't ask me about nothing about doing your own thing. Okay, you still gonna be doing your thing, but the thing about it is that my thing is that we want to do things that gonna be able to help more people, gonna be able to do a greater good. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, somebody trying to do something, want to work together, and then I'm trying to say, no, I don't want to work. No, I said, then that's on me. But if you come to me and you want to do something to help, and you say, well, I got an idea, well, fine, there are a lot of different varieties, but let's do a network. That's what I'm trying to say right now. A clothing store. What is Walmart? Walmart is about 200 different stores in one building. I mean, it's a flea market. See what I'm saying? It's just that's all what Walmart is. But it ain't just one person. One person, okay, we got the building, we're gonna call it Walmart, but then you got your little store in there, I got my little store. But but it's just one building. I mean, that's okay. You go to a grocery store. You got the people go to Greens in there, you got people got this canned good bread. In other words, these are different businesses in one store. It ain't just, I just got my sweet potato. You might have 3 or 4 sweet potato pie, 4 or 5 vanilla ice cream. You know what I'm saying? But they're all in one store. So therefore they're all.
You got 25 businesses in one aisle.
Yeah.
5 different ice cream.
But then still, we still don't get it. We still don't get it. So I'm saying to you, listen, if they want to be a part of the solution, fine. But if they don't, then you gotta pay for it. Good luck. I mean, that part, that way I'm at. I'm on the good luck. But I'm trying to say, if you need it, but then like say, hey, don't that's a waste. You know what? That's a waste of time.
You think that's narcissism or selfishness?
Yeah, that part. That's what it is. Narcissism. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, and the thing I'm trying to say is that these damn times we should know better. I ran into a brother the other night. We're gonna be ready to close, but the other night in the grocery store, and I was in that shopping, getting some oranges and grapefruits and things. And he said, yeah, man. He had, a lot of people. He said, but me, like you, we grew up in old school. We got the country. We know how to. I said, yeah. I said because we learned how to work as a community. We learned how to work together. If you didn't have some, if I got something, I give you some of mine. You got something. That's how the old school was. So that wasn't nobody. We maybe didn't have much, but we had each other and we had something to eat. See what I'm saying? And we shared what we had. So I'm trying to say the same thing about business. If we're not willing to share and work together, how can we hire 5,000 youth in Columbus if you doing your thing? No, collectively we can do it, but I can't have but 2, 1. I mean, but if we come together, then we can have. I mean,
maybe we create some more jobs.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, so I tell you, it's a shame. I just wonder what I wish I had a song to go out on tonight, but I guess I'm gonna have to come up with a song. My cousin had a song. I guess too late now, but yeah. Got a new gospel musical album. Wednesday, you're gonna need to get in touch with me, man, so that you're gonna so you come on and play some of your music, bro. I mean, you gotta check in, man. That I can't get in touch with me. I know you got I pushed it out on Facebook, but again, you got to jump out here so that we can hear what you're doing, brother. All right, cuz. All right, to all my kin folks. Also, let me say this: any relatives of mine that are listening, if you are male, then get in touch with me because we're gonna have a mass. Anybody that's distantly related to me, and I'm gonna try to see how many people go. I mean, I got a lot of people, but It sounds like work to me. I mean, but my bottom line is that I would like to convene a gathering where we all distant, fictively or otherwise related. Okay, let's meet. Let's come together. Let's do some things for the greater good of our community. Okay, I'm throwing that out as a challenge. I mean, if you don't reach out, at least God said, put it on my heart to do it. I've done it, and I'm trying to say, if not, then to God be the glory. Okay, what's your last thought, Julian? Anything on your mind?
Again, just peace and blessings, and looking forward to the rest.
How's your Ramadan coming?
Going along great. I'm definitely feeling it.
yeah. It getting good now. It getting good now. By the way, what's the final call? What's the headline this week?
Repent, for the kingdom of God is at hand. Savior's Day.
Okay. Oh, okay. So let me hold that up and let people see. You see the brothers out there, either go by, there you go right there. Repent, for the kingdom of God is at hand. Of course, that was the Savior Day message. And of course, as always, it always has some, who is God? Y'all need to get this. When ye shall see all these things. Who is God? See some other topics we got in here. Let's see here. Demonstrated precision. That drill, no matter what had maybe next week do, but that had a drill thing too. Brother was really, and by the way, that's one thing I want to do without you too. I want to start some drill teams. I want to start some drill team competitions. I want to do that. Okay, doing fix that. Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Kareem. All right, everybody. Be on your best behavior. And thank God for giving you opportunity to add to life in a meaningful way. As always, want to see organize, promote this Shusha Shinduru, Sasa Wazuri. Stay tuned for the very best. Promote. Tutashinda, Uhuru Sasa, Watu Wazuri. Peace, soul, love, with a little sprinkle of power. Good night.